Okay, change of scenery once again. And right now we are, well, in a different country at this point, and we are more than halfway through the book that I'm currently reading for the second time, called The Artist's Way. I'm currently on week 8, which was recovering a sense of strength, and what week to do it on than the first week of the Fire Horse year and my move. I have never felt as much power and strength as I'm currently feeling, and at the same time I've never been so exhausted and still doing things because there's no other way. It kind of relates to the Fire Horse here, so I guess it makes sense. And like before I talk about anything in the week 8, I want to say I am proud of the fact that I have decided to do so much at the same time, because it does feel like my foot is in a lot of different doors and that I'm handling things far better than I've ever, which is nice. At the same time, I kind of wish that I could tell myself like, oh, like take a day off and have that full day off, because lately I haven't felt like any day has had more than, well, honestly, no, not realistic time where I could mentally and physically rest. As an example, I have redone this entire space because that space used to hold a lot of pain and a lot of bad memories. So I basically decided that while I'm going through my move, while I'm moving out of the other country that I was currently, like, that I was living in, while I'm doing everything that I'm doing, while I'm applying for a visa and literally trying to get a visa to live in a different country, finding a job in the current country that I'm in, let me just also redo the entire space, paint all the walls, clean up everything, go through someone's stuff that is now no longer living here, and just make sure that for everyone here, for everyone including myself, this time is more pleasant, and then we can create like a bit of a healthier space and healthier memories. That all falling on my move week and everything else. So in that way, recovering a sense of strength, I've never had so much strength in my life, and it only was possible because I gave myself time to recover, to regulate my nervous system, and to really think, what are my values, what are my core values, how do I really want to live my life in the next like 5 years. That made me make completely different choices, because right now I'm trying to align myself with a way of living that would benefit me and the future me more, because I don't want to live my life like I used to live my life. I don't want to be constantly anxious. I don't want to be constantly stressed. I don't want to be constantly crying because like the people around me are making me feel unseen. I don't want to constantly choose people that don't choose me, and I don't want to choose anything that doesn't really chooses me, because I, for the first time in my life, decided to choose myself. And I think this book helped me a lot, but also what helped me was constantly moving. Like, this book made me move so much. And then the move that I, like, the whole, like, catapulting me into change the very first time that I did it, which was last March. I started this book last March, and now I'm probably gonna finish this book by the end of this March, which feels like kind of a cycle closing, and I feel like a really, really good cycle. And now if we go to the actual book, because I now talked about everything but what's inside the book, and the very first page like literally says, as mental health experts are quick to point out, in order to move through loss and beyond it, we must acknowledge it and share it. The very first time I did this book was me expressing the pain I always hid, expressing a lot of sorrows, expressing my survival, expressing how I was living. I was so honest about everything in my life. That helped me move through biggest blocks, not artistically. This book for me still is not about arts. This book for me is still about the fact that I moved out of my survival mode and moved into who I am, and it helps me understand much more clear who I want to become. be it creative or not, actually, it doesn't really matter, as long as I'm moving in the right direction. And currently it does feel like I'm moving in the right direction. And like I just like basically will tell you like what I kind of marked, because just for myself to kind of remember. We must remember that our artist child, our artist child is a child, and that we can handle intellectually far outstrips that we can handle emotionally. We must be alert to flag and mourn our losses. Last time I was doing this book, it was all about mourning losses in life, like things that I feel like I didn't have, things like I feel like I was still mad about, things that I needed to process in order to move forward. This book helped me do it, and this book helped me become much more solid in who I am. Like I actually feel like I am the kind of adult right now, and I'm not even fully yet, but I am definitely closer to it than ever before. I'm the kind of adult that my younger self needed. I am the kind of adult that can take care of us, can emotionally regulate us, can do so much for us, can create fun spaces for us and allow us to be fun and free. I wasn't ever doing that before. I did it for everyone else in my life, but I couldn't do it for myself. And because I couldn't do it for myself, I was burning out all the time because I needed that and I was giving it to people, but I could not give it to myself. So all of that work felt like it wasn't really going anywhere because I would burn out and I couldn't be consistent with anything in my life. Nothing. I couldn't be consistent with myself. So no amount of good things that I was doing for other people was good enough because I couldn't stay consistent. With my job, sure, because that's a job. But when it came to how I wanted to show up for other people and how I wanted to show up for myself, there was zero consistency there. Zero. And now I have it. And the unmourned disappointments become the barrier that separates us from future dreams. Yes, because in that burnout, I couldn't really feel comfortable with being seen, and that was the biggest issue. I wasn't feeling like I could show up for myself, and that created like these blocks of, I was paranoid. I was again in survival mode, so like a lot of my stuff was like anxiety driven, paranoia, a lot of like fear. And now it is safe to be seen, it's safe to be out here, it's safe to be you, because honestly the world is a very unsafe place. So you might as well be safe sharing. And if you're not safe sharing, then you know what, at least your vulnerability is strength and probably helping somebody, so like might as well. And I now feel that way truly, because before I was ashamed for the kind of truth that I was holding, for the kind of things that I was coming from. Now I don't feel it because maybe it helps somebody. I had to mourn so many people, I had to mourn so many losses in my life, I had to mourn myself 5,000 times and everything that I felt like I wasn't. Yeah, and now that we have worked through a lot of it, I just feel empowered and strong. And now, and I feel like here I also want to yeah, the artist within, like the child within, is seldom hurt by truth, but hurt by like the wrong kind of criticism. The criticism that damages an artist is the criticism, well-intended or ill, that holds judgment. That one, like someone can tell me any amount of truth, but if you tell it with, it's for me, it's not really about the artistic pursuits, it's about like human connection, humans in general. If anyone gives you the kind of feedback because they're doing it out of their own insecurities, you will feel it. You will not understand that it's that, but you will take it as your own, and they will bully you. They will give you like a bit of like more of like a bullied version of truth, because they're not doing it for you, they're doing it because they project. Like it's not intended for you, it is intended for you, but not really, because it is coming with a certain grain of salt. And yeah, and then the student emerges shamed, feeling like a bad artist, or worse, fool to try in life. Like if people make you feel bad, come here baby, come here. You feel like you're a fool to try. And that's the thing, you're not a fool. Trying is so brave, always has been. And people that shame you for trying, or people that shame your work, or just in general, like for anything that you do, they are projecting, because trying is so brave. And then there was this chapter about like how not chapter, but like this part where people like in that teachers or people in the creative settings that are mentors can become creative monsters. Come here, baby. Can become creative monsters because they are not, because they, yeah, like they're not really, in my opinion, they're just not living the kind of life that they kind of hope they would, so they project everything onto you. But I've had it so much, like for example, I hated school, always hated school. I've always hated, I didn't like university, not really. And I really didn't like I didn't like anything about it because I just genuinely felt like there were not enough people that were there to be lovely to children, to be nice to children, not nice, kind to children, and that really genuinely had your best intentions in mind. For me, it seemed like a bunch of people that don't like what they do, don't care what they do, and are here and hate you. And I also felt that, like, as a whole of like educational system and as a whole, in like, why try if everyone is just, this is what I'm striving to be? No, absolutely not. And now I really want to become an educator. Actually, I like teaching, and I'm currently also teaching. And for me, it became such a different thing because I realized that I don't have to be like any of these people. I don't have to be anything like that. And it showed me a different way of being, because I want to encourage people that I work with and people that like that are in my care to do what they want to do and to try. Because to try, even if you're gonna look like a fucking fool, it doesn't matter, because you don't. You look like a fool to people that are judgmental. You don't look like a fool to people that have tried a million times before they succeeded. So if you're judged by someone harshly, ask yourself, do you want to live their life? Because most likely you don't. I have thought about it so much because I was also thinking like, wow, like I felt so much judgment from my teachers, especially in school years. I felt so bullied. I felt so put down. Like I am literally dumb. Like I could not achieve anything because I'm stupid. And actually I've been told that like directly, that I'm not someone that can achieve much because I'm not smart enough. And I think it's so fucking low. Like, honestly, I think it's so fucking low. And I also think that I don't want to be that kind of person. I don't want to, anyone that, for example, I'm a photographer. Yeah. Anyone that wants to try photography, I always say, try it, have fun. This is great. Because in the end, like, it's about like having an eye for beauty. So like, you can be whatever you want to be. And I'm serious about it. You can literally be whatever you want to be, because it is about a mindset, and it's about strength, and it's about trying. You can't become anything if you don't try. No one has ever become anything without trying, unless they had an insane amount of money. But like, let's talk about regular people. You try, and then you become something. You don't become something just because you are, you know? And I think that's that for me. And when it comes to teachers, sorry, like I lost my train of thoughts. Do I want to take advice from someone whose life I don't want to live? No. Look at their life. Do they look like they're happy people? Probably not. And I am telling you right now that judgmental people are never happy, because they want to dissect and pull apart your life. It doesn't matter how old you are. Because like, if I think about it, like, wow, I've been bullied most in my teenage years by teachers. And that's like a really vulnerable age in general, and would not wish that experience on anyone. But yeah, like, how low are you really? And how bad is your life that you feel like you need to like let it out on someone that is definitely more vulnerable than you, and honestly doesn't have anything to back themselves up? So honestly, just don't be that person. Try, keep being a fool in anything that you want to do, and that is going to make you happy, and that is not going to make you want to judge anyone, because you will be happy with your life. And I stand on that, because yeah. And maybe like to summarize this particular part of my artist way thing, in order to recover our sense of hope and the courage to create, we must acknowledge and mourn the scars that are blocking us. Acknowledge the fact that you have been put down. Acknowledge the fact that you've been low. Acknowledge all of it, and then move forward. Try, because it matters if you try. And if you try hard enough, you're gonna actually achieve something. And it's not silly to try. It's very, very, very brave. Anyway, I'm gonna do a part 2. Bye.